right, time to get into World Championship Wrestling Thursday Night Thunder, October 14th, 1999. I thought Mean Gene said Thursday Night Thunder on this show.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he said Thursday Night Thunder.
Wednesday Thunder.
I'm going to give it to you, James, and then if you're wrong, you know what happens.
Oh, not the penis exploding machine again.
The penis exploding machine. That's what happens. But we'll see. We'll find out.
It was a Thursday. Wow, I just looked up what day it was. October 14th, 1999.
Yes!
Wow, dude, that was
historically
a gamble for you.
It was a Wednesday Night Thunder, though. I think.
Yeah. What a gamble, though. It paid off, James. You paying attention.
It was like a gamble that like I don't get anything out of it. Like if I would have lost, I would look like an idiot. But I won, and now
oh yeah,
no one really. We're moving on.
Nothing bad happens to me that I said the opposite. So that's awesome. But what does happen before we talk about the show is we take a look at what was going on in the world of wrestling at the time with the Wrestling Observer newsletter. October 11th, 1999. Vince Russo and Ferrara, the men who were responsible for writing the WWF television shows that have been drawing huge ratings for the past year, abruptly quit the company and signed on with WCW over the weekend. So supposedly they were working there with no contracts, which is crazy.
Is that right?
Deal, probably, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Russo in various interviews cited the burnout factor of working so many hours with the added stress of the SmackDown show as the main component of his approaching WCW, first through J.J. Dillon, and then closing the 2-year deal after lengthy meetings with Bill Bush on October 2nd. Signing the contract in Atlanta the next morning, he stated on WrestleLine, I don't know what that was. It a radio show, you think? WrestleLine?
Yeah,
maybe. IRC chat.
Oh, Russo in the IRC
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Russo.
Vinny Roo XXX.
You just have to believe him.
He stated on WrestleLine that he was drained from being on call 24 hours a day for nearly 3 years and that he needed to spend more time with his family. Russo and Ferrara, who were both working without contracts with the WWF, which was a stunning oversight, apparently because Vince McMahon was of the belief they weren't a threat to leave, despite many people suggesting to WCW that they hire Russo to write television. They were apparently looking for some sort of security in their position, although Russo claimed it was not a money deal and he's only making slightly more in WCW. Apparently, McMahon told him that he'd get back with them and then came back with a different answer than they were hoping for, so they left.
You know, I have to believe that's true because Russo has stuck by that story for 20 years. He has
of all the stories that have changed, that is not one of them.
Yeah,
he's always said that Vince told him to get a nanny, and then he said, "Fuck this place."
Tony, okay, so I did read that part. I assume everyone already knew that story, so I didn't put it in the story. But that is so Russo asked for double his pay, and he wanted more time with his family, and Vince said no, and you should get a nanny. And Russo said, all right, goddamn. Dude, I can't even.
It's not an unreasonable request. Hey, we're writing 2 shows. I should get paid double. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they didn't increase his pay when they brought in SmackDown.
That's crazy.
I guess even if it wasn't like double, like just any raise would have been cool. I think. I'm sure he could have met him halfway or something. Like maybe not like double, but you can go home more. He said no and no, and like where's SmackDown? I need it now.
Yeah,
he said get a job right now, and you
what's
will
Al
not see your
Snow
family.
doing on SmackDown this week? I mean, I need to fucking know. WWF officials told Taz they want him to do and play the same character he played in ECW.
That's a lie.
What? That would involve you protecting him a lot.
But I also believe that Russo was a big fan of Taz and that idea, and then Russo's gone.
Okay, so sure.
That
why don't you get in the jumpsuit? How about that?
Yeah, put these pants on.
Put these pants on, and you know what? Why don't you go to the commentary table? It's better for you.
Yeah, put this napkin in your suit, will you?
Give me your fucking cut, too. Give me your colors.
Here's a rough one for you. We have a couple of confirmed releases on the WCW side here. One of them is Scott Norton, and the other one is Mike Enos.
Mike Enos? What?
How the
fuck did Mike Enos just come up in this episode? He wasn't on the episode, and somehow say his name and he appears.
I believe in Mike Enos. Dude, he comes up on that fucking Dean Malenko Ultimate Dragon match we watched.
Dude, unbelievable Mike Enos. That should have been his gimmick.
How did they get him, and how did they get Scott Norton? Like, how did they get released? I feel like Scott Norton was alive.
Scott Norton probably said, I want to go back to Japan full time.
Yeah, please, let me get out of here.
Yeah,
you guys are letting
Malenko
and Benoit go do a tour in New Japan and not me? I'm gone, brother. Well, supposedly a lot of the wrestlers who are being let go may be used on $500 per match deals as opposed to being on contract. So Mike Enos might not be gone for good. But Scott Norton was under an $800,000 per year contract.
Holy shit.
The fuck?
Yeah, listen, great for him. That's fucking awesome.
Wait, so you get the $800,000 deal or you get $500 a match? Damn, that is like a crazy difference.
I imagine maybe Scott Norton wasn't going to be one of those guys. Maybe more on the Mike Enos side of that one.
He was a NWO B team guy. He was making $800,000. You would think they would sit down and go, You think they would sit down and go, $800,000? All right, we should probably put him in like something high profile.
No, he should team with Vincent.
No.
That'd be good for him. From the Observer, October 18th, 1999. More WCW releases here, gentlemen. This is, of course, like I said, October 99, so a lot of the legends here are being shipped away. Among the names now confirmed as being dropped from the contracts were Eric Watts, Horace Hogan, Chad Fortune, Barry Darsow, and Barry Horowitz. But all have been invited to stay with the company on $500 per match guarantees.
They're all making $950,000 a year.
There is a trial date scheduled for next month in Jim Hellwig's case against the WWF. 2 of the 4 counts have been thrown out, which were the defamation count against the WWF stemming from his 96 departure when he was suspended after missing 3 house shows, and his claim that Titan Sports reneged on funding Project Warrior, which was his Warrior University training school based in Phoenix that the WWF promoted for a short period of time, which sounds fucking insane. He had a school, not a wrestling school. He wanted like a school for children.
What the fuck is wrong with
that?
This
was a real school, not a wrestling school?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a real... I guess it's his training school, so maybe it was wrestling, but I swear I also heard of him wanting to sponsor an actual school before.
Wrestling's over, man. Time to pick up a hammer and get up on the roof. There's nothing wrong. Blue collar jobs are great. You know what I mean? Pick one up.
Yeah, man. We don't need more wrestlers. We need more plumbers.
Somebody get in the trap underneath the sink now, man. And it's you, Warrior.
Hellwig. Oh, I guess it is Warrior. It's a shoot, right?
I guess now, yeah.
If you recall, Hellwig missed house shows in Indianapolis, Detroit, and Pittsburgh allegedly after a phone argument with Vince McMahon regarding Hellwig wanting McMahon to purchase his comic books to distribute and being turned down. I forgot he had comic books. I don't think there was many of them, though. We should get them. And
WCW was like, we'll do it. We'll do the comics.
They fucking absolutely did.
Yeah, Distrucity.
Hellwig has denied that story and claimed he missed the shows because his father passed away. Meltzer says his father did pass away that weekend, but it was a day of the 3rd show after missing the first 2 already, and he didn't attend his father's funeral.
What exactly did he want to do with the comics?
He just wanted WWF to promote and distribute them, I guess.
Be the publisher of the comics?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I guess he was doing it himself or through something else, and I guess it wasn't getting enough traction.
So Diamond Comics didn't want the Distrucity comic.
Were you not? You wanted to pick that up as a kid? The Jim Hellwig Distrucity comic 3.
His name is, he's a superhero named Jim Hellwig. It's written by Jim Hellwig.
It's me.
Oh shit, that's me.
This is a crazy one that I don't know if I've ever heard. Yokozuna has been telling people that he starts after WrestleMania to feud with Austin.
I used to tell people that.
On my WWF IRC chat under the name Billy Kidman.
Yeah, and all you had to do was believe me.
He's talking about WrestleMania 2000 then? We're in 99, so he's going to start after... What the fuck?
Right. Yeah, so after WrestleMania 2000, Yokozuna is going to feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yokozuna passed away in 2000. That is crazy.
Please tell me that. Is that fucking...
Yeah, it says October 23rd, 2000.
Well, the reason it didn't happen here is not his fault. He was banned in all states where commissions regulate wrestling because his license was revoked from failing a physical due to heart irregularities and obesity. And unless he gets his weight under control, he won't be wrestling anywhere soon.
Wait, You can get your license refunded for being obese?
For being fat.
He's not obese.
Yeah, you got to do a physical. You got to do a physical, and he can't pass a physical.
Well, he's not obese, Tony. He's morbidly obese.
Morbidly obese?
Put my man in there with Steve Austin now.
Yeah. Wow. A couple more things here from the Observer, October 25th, 1999. I've read one of these before, but I need to read it again. This isn't the one, though. This is separate. Matt Osborne, you might know him as Doink the Clown, tested positive for cocaine while trying to get his wrestling license in Rhode Island.
The Clown?
Doink the Clown. Yeah,
Dork the Clown.
Dude, have you seen that YouTube short, Dork the Clown?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yes, I have.
You should check that out. Well, Doink the Clown got arrested and he's in jail and he can't get his wrestling license.
That
So
sucks,
fuck it.
man.
No Doink, no Yokozuna. What is going on in 1999?
Yeah, I mean, he could have. I think Doink the Clown was supposed to feud with Steve Austin. Sadly, he went to prison, so.
He was going to whoopee cushion him off the Hell in a Cell.
Dude, they would have if Russo was still around. I tell you that.
You're right. This is one we've talked about before, but it needs to be brought up again. Meltzer says, just in case anyone thought Jim Hellwig may not have totally lost his mind, he responded to Paul Heyman's suggestion from months ago that he'd be interested in using Hellwig in ECW if he'd put Taz over. Hellwig said he didn't have problems doing a job, but that Heyman wanted to devalue an already established marketing persona in The Ultimate Warrior. He then said he'd go to ECW on one condition. It would have to be a shoot match, and if he was still standing after 30 seconds, then he would get total control of the company.
I think I remember us talking about this. This still sounds as insane now as it did then.
I need it, because I swear, this was probably like a year ago we talked about that, but I wish there was a timeline where that happened.
I would have just said yes, go for it.
Yeah, like Taz would kill this guy.
Yeah, be Taz
and 911. Yeah, good luck.
Choke slams Jim Hellwig to the floor. Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, wrestling doesn't really have guys like this anymore that were just insane.
We could find some.
Yeah, I mean, at the right bar, right? I mean, that's where probably they found the Ultimate fucking Warrior, right?
Yeah, you probably the gym or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Golds. Last thing here, Thunder from October 11th, which is the one we're about to talk about, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was a total mess, Meltzer writes. The idea, which I believe came from Russo, was to put Kevin Nash and Scott Hall on the announcing team for the show and turn the announcing into a shoot. Well, Scott Hall, for one reason or another, is not on this, but Kevin Nash is very much on this. And you talking about me, Meng?
I was there, Chico.
Why don't you get a job instead of reporting on mine, man? So yeah, I'd be stunned if this is not a Nash show. I'm going into this with the idea that Nash entirely wrote this show, and he's on commentary for his own show that he knows his time is coming up here on booking, and it is fucking unbelievable. So let's talk about it. WCW Thunder, October 14th, 1999.
All right, let's get into this WCW Thunder. We get the intro here. All the stars are here. You will not see any of them on this show, but they are under contract.
They're very much under contract. At least you'll see the Total Package. Just the Total Package. His name is the Total Package. Please remember that.
Do not call him Lex Luger, you dumb son of a bitch. How dare you.
TP actually
awesome. I do. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just talking shit. Go ahead.
If you got spit on TP, let's go. What you guys
no,
say
I don't have nothing but good things to say about TP.
He loves TP.
We love TP around here.
No, you love TP. You do. You're a big TP guy.
TP. Yeah. What were you saying, Tony?
Oh, I was saying this Thunder intro with the Hollywood. I love it. I still love it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Awesome.
It's definitely. I guess I never realized how similar it is to the idea that they would put the footage of dudes against the buildings for Nitro. This was just a big Hollywood sign instead of that.
Yeah, it was like Hollywood show, it felt like it was like Hulk Hogan's Hollywood show, but then he was never on it.
Because if The Rock's going to have a show, dude, I need a show, brother.
I need the Hollywood show, brother.
I'm not going to be on it, though.
I'm not fucking showing up ever.
well, unless the ratings are up, brother, then of course I was there backstage and I booked the whole show.
No way I'm flying to fucking Baton Rouge, dude. No way.
That's what TP says later, too.
Yeah, me too.
I was at the show, Chico. Commentary opens the show here for Thunder. Mike Tenay says, welcome, everybody. And here is the broadcast team of Larry Zbyszko and Kevin Nash in a Diamondbacks jersey.
And he looks so smug. Like, Nash knows that he is about to have a very fun night just watching the bullshit unfold.
Dude, he is toasted or something. I don't know what's going on here. He's wasted and doing something.
He's crazy.
I can't imagine how much fun he was having during this whole run. This had to be
awesome.
This had to be like the sickest shit ever. Like,
dude,
I make a ton of money. You come in, you make more than me. Now I make more money. I'm not even doing anything. I literally don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
He's got the sickest contract ever, bro. The favored nations plus the guaranteed money plus, I think he had a no-cut contract also, if I remember correctly. So he couldn't get fired.
He's booking his own shit.
He's booking his own angles, and he just gets
that is awesome.
Jokes on commentary and get paid the same as wrestling.
And Scott Hall has the wrestler. Yeah, Scott Hall has the same contract, and like he literally doesn't show up ever.
Dude, James was talking about this before we started. We've watched so much WCW and somehow have seen so little of Scott Hall. How is that possible?
You're right. Wow, that's crazy.
Every time we get into the show, the first thing we get at the top of the show is always somebody, whether it's Shivani or Mike Tenay or whatever the case, and they always say, Scott Hall was supposed to be here tonight, but he's not.
Whoops.
Yeah, every time.
Him and half the roster, apparently, according to this.
Oh, that's even funnier later on. Yeah, we'll get into that.
Kevin Nash says that he is a horrible booker, but he has booked himself in the best angle of all time. He's retired, and since he's retired, they put him on the broadcast team to try and recoup some of those funds.
This is like James isn't putting on. Like that's what he said.
That's what he said.
He says, I booked myself at the best angle, and they paid me lots of money, so they're trying to recoup their funds by putting me on commentary.
And yeah, Tenay says, what about Scott Hall? Where's he at? And Nash says, well, he's supposed to be here, but I haven't seen him since he left for sushi with those two ladies on Monday. And it's a 3-shot of all the announcers, and you see Tenay inventing Tenay face as this happens. Tenay asks Zbyszko what he thinks about Nash, and Nash perks up crazy. He's excited to hear what Zbyszko's going to say. And Zbyszko just says, Nash is great, and he's a great talent, yada yada. And I gave your keys to Moses. And Nash looks like he's coming up with like 10 different insults to say to Larry Zbyszko, but he holds them all back.
Zbyszko actually wins Nash over by the end of the night.
He does. They become boys at the end,
dude. Because Tenay is like the glue that holds us all together, and then Zbyszko kind of just says like fuck it halfway through the show and like, all right, I'm gonna give in and we're gonna do the Old Glory bit for the rest of the night.
Tenay is the Tony of the show.
Glues it all together.
Yeah, he's got to keep it together for or else it fucking
he is
goes
the professor
apart.
He's got to keep it going, bro.
Tenay, like hearing Tenay commentate, being the lead commentator for a WCW show did feel weird.
It was, but I liked it.
I did too.
I actually liked it. Look, the show without this commentary team,
oh my god,
it's just awful, man.
I would have put my head through every monitor I have in my house.
Yeah, dude, it was just awful, man. But the commentary was so good. This is like, and they even reference it later on in the show, in just like a passerby comment or whatever. But this is Kevin Nash doing a Mystery Science Theater gimmick on this show. It's literally all it is. And
Kevin Nash, James said this to me before, he might be the funniest wrestler ever.
Yeah, he's like legit a funny guy. Like I don't know, like
he's
obviously
quick.
Yeah, he's super quick. And when it comes to comedy, especially like the riff track stuff, you have to be super quick. And he's so fucking, he's just so like, I don't know, he doesn't give a shit. So like he's just talking and the shit he says is so funny. He's just a naturally funny guy. We watched him and X-Pac, I think, was on the last one they were on commentary because he said, I'm not going to get in the ring because I got a gas bubble.
Oh, yeah. And he would have liked to hit PCO with a chair.
Yeah, and like you think to yourself that like, oh, like this is a gimmick, like, all this shit. But like, when you have like another wrestler like X-Pac or something you're like, wow, Kevin Nash might just actually be like the funniest guy ever.
He's
like,
insane too.
He seems like he'd be a ton of fun to hang out with in real life. Like he'd be like just a funny guy to be out and get a beer with or something. Yeah, he just seems funny. But there's that on the commentary open here. Kevin Nash says he wants to try to recoup some of those funds and then gives the craziest grin to the camera I've ever seen.
If you've ever seen a gif of Kevin Nash on commentary, it's probably this, if not a picture.
That one, and then there's one from this actually probably a couple years earlier where he does the eyebrow raise.
Oh yes. Yeah.
What player do you think he had on for the Diamondbacks jersey?
Oh shit, did it have a number?
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
Say anything. My first thought was like, it's probably Randy Johnson. But I don't know the active years he had. But I assume it wouldn't matter. Like people just wear it anyways.
That's true. Why Diamond? He's a Diamondbacks guy, not a Tigers.
I think just the big unit. He was a big deal.
Oh, sure. Fair enough. Understandable.
So we start off the evening here on Thunder. Thunder's actually more of a wrestling show than Nitro is. There's more matches, and they get a little more time.
So many matches.
Yeah. These didn't get a lot of time, but they get more time than you would usually see, especially on a Russo booked Nitro.
Now, if I were to ask you, James, what you thought the first match of this show could have possibly been, would the match that we got ever have been the answer?
No, yeah, the first
I didn't think so.
The first match of the evening is Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker versus Jim Duggan.
And that's probably the theme for the rest of the night. Most of these, until like maybe the last two matches, are all just shit thrown together.
I like Kevin Nash had to like go down the list to be like, this is the funniest looking dude I've ever seen. I saw Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker come out, and I was like, this is the dude from Small Soldiers. This guy looks like he could be in Small Soldiers.
We might have said that before because we've seen him. Wasn't he like with Brian Knobbs at some point later? Or was he with Fit Finley?
Who's with
like,
Brian
not on
Knobbs?
this show.
Yeah, I think it's
Hugh Morris.
Right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, not on. I mean, like later, like in WCW.
Fit Finley. He does like a feud with him, or he's with him, or something.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. He's just a sergeant, by the way. Make sure you understand that.
I think he's like the head trainer at the power plant.
I think that's right. Yeah, I've seen his haircut in packages before.
And Jim Duggan is. You seen his haircut?
No, I don't know anything about this dude. I swear I've seen this haircut somewhere.
Yeah, that's probably right. Jim Duggan is exactly what you think Jim Duggan would be. And you know what, man? I was watching this match, and I was like, you know what? I kind of love Jim Duggan.
Dude, I wrote down here, and I'm just going to read exactly what I wrote here. Wow, is Jim Duggan the best opener guy of all time,
dude,
or am I losing my mind?
I couldn't believe. I was like, I'm watching him work in his cell and like firing the crowd up. I said, man, I need to watch more Jim Duggan because this guy's great.
So Jim Duggan is a Mid-South guy, so he was super over in this like area,
right?
And like, that's obviously why. I'm just going to go off the idea that Nash booked the show. I'm just going to keep saying it.
Yeah,
so,
why not? Why not?
Yeah. All right, so. Nash booked him because he's a Mid-South guy. Nash actually knows a lot about wrestling too, and I think that like having Jim Duggan be the opener guy is so smart because his shit is super simple. The crowd will always chant USA.
Yes.
And fucking who doesn't like going, oh, you know what I mean? Like this is everything you need.
He's big too. Like he's not muscular, but he's wide.
He's massive. He's got to be 6'4", 6'5". He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a fucking big guy. Nash on commentary as he's coming out. Nash says, "Say what you want about Jim Duggan, but this guy always has a way of staying over."
USA, yeah, man, he's locked in.
Dude, awesome. They're chanting USA, and Jim Duggan's opponent is a guy in camouflage pants. This guy is very American. He's facing. It doesn't matter. Duggan needs the power of America on his side.
So yeah, man, this match is exactly what you think it is. Some punches, some chops. Parker tries to cut Duggan off at one point. Duggan starts doing his no selling, which always gets the crowd going.
He's Americaning up. I don't know what
he's not hulking up. He's just getting up.
Nash keeps telling Sarge to get the board, the 2x4. He wants him to hit him with the 2x4. He says, use the board. And Zbyszko says that's going to get him disqualified.
So then Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker pokes him in the eyes, and Duggan misses a huge shoulder tackle in the corner.
That was awesome.
None of this fucking matters to Jim Duggan, who is a 6'5", 6'6" American-made monster. Duggan hits a body slam, 3-point stance clothesline, and the Old Glory knee drop to win the match.
The Old Glory knee drop really changes the trajectory of this show the minute that Mike Tenay yelled Old Glory knee drop, because Nash is now enthralled with this move.
He targeted in. He said, doop, doop, doop.
Yeah, dude, Nash had never heard of this move before in his life, and it just stun locked him and unlocked something inside of him.
Stun locked is a great way to put it. Nash says, Mike, how much of the stuff you make up on the fly? Old Glory knee drop and stuff like that. Is that legit, or you make this up on the fly? And Tenay says, oh, that's the nickname for Jim Duggan. It's the name, it's the name of the flag. The Old Glory flag is Old Glory knee drop. I said, that is fucking so funny. Nash couldn't believe it.
I thought, my first initial thought here when I was watching this live was, okay, that was funny. And then Nash says, "Oh, I got you. For 2 more hours, do I got you?" I was super surprised. I was laughing every time he did it too. So we move on to the second match of the evening. Al Green versus.
You missed the best line before this. Hold on. They say
I know
a great line here when they fade to the commercial. They go, "The stars of WCW are out here tonight." All the stars are here,
dude. I mean, sorry again. Just before we go to the other match, I could talk about Jim Duggan so much here. Like everything he does is big. Like his taunts are big. He is very loud, and like the whole crowd resonates with everything he's doing. I love Jim Duggan.
He's a guy that had to get over in the territories, that's shit you have to learn to make money and make a living, and like there's not a lot of guys left like that, man.
No, not at all. But so James, as I said in the first match, now match number 2, if there was any match I could have you predict would be the second match, would you have guessed this one?
No, I would not. I'll tell you this. I did expect Lash LeRoux on this show.
Me too. I did too.
I did not expect this match. The second match of the evening, Al Green versus Lash LeRoux.
We've talked about Al Green before, but I don't remember why.
WXO's Al Green.
Oh, Jesus. God, he was in the mask. He had the hood on. He was Al Green, but he just has the mask on. What the fuck?
Al Green with mask. Good gimmick. He has the mask. Who's that? Oh, that's Al Green.
Yeah, Al Green. I wrote, holy fuck, it's Al Green. This is a crazy show. And then I wrote, oh my God, it's Lash LeRoux. It's time to skim it all, dim it all, down, all.
He has to leave and come back to cut his promo later.
That is fucking crazy. What happened there? I can't wait to talk about that.
They don't do that. They don't do the on the ramp stuff anymore. Because they're just full on copying WWF now.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
just
like
in rings.
It's all in ring now. Yeah. So Al Green, Kevin Nash is just going crazy on commentary. Did you write what he was talking about with Al Green?
Okay, I did. So Tanay says, "Hey, Kevin, I think maybe way back in your wrestling past, you'd be quite familiar with Mr. Al Green." And Nash says, "Oh, he should have come out to I'm so in love with you." And Tanay says, No, that's Reverend Al Green. And Nash says, "This is a wrestler, Al Green?" oh yeah, he was my tag partner 10 years ago.
What? That line killed me. He's like, act like he had no idea who this guy is. Oh yeah, I teamed with him. Like, he was my second tag partner.
He's like, I broke into the business with this guy.
It was my second tag partner 10 years ago. Dude, I rewound that and listened. Oh, there's a wrestler, Al Green. And then Zbyszko says, "You team with the Reverend Al Green?"
The wrestler, man. The wrestler.
Tanay at some point gives up, but he tries to fight the good fight of keeping this on track for a minute.
I love when he gives up. It's so it actually gets funnier when Tanay just starts laughing at everything.
It's crazier when Tanay, because Tanay starts just saying, "Oh, whatever, fuck it."
Dude, it's funny because Tanay like plays into it, but then he's still trying to like call the serious too. So he's like playing into it and calling it serious at the same time. It just makes it work though.
The old glory knee job, Tony. Someone's got to call this shit. So Kevin Nash says Lash LeRoux was voted by the fans sweetest sideburns in WCW.
And Larry Zbyszko says, "Well, those are his initials." And Tanay says, "They're both." And Nash says, "Oh, we're not doing that whole Van Dyke debate, are we?"
I said Van Dyke! No!
Dick Van Dyke, I mentioned on WCW Thunder.
It's Dick Clark they're talking about here, of course.
The way got crazy that you shave your sideburns in 2 L's. That is insane.
That's also his taunt, Tony.
I guess I didn't notice it because on the other side, it's a J. It is not an L.
No, come on.
It's like the Jeff, the double J, Jeff Jarrett. They were.
You know how Tanahashi puts his hand? It's kind of like that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, his is definitely cutting the shape of his sideburns, which is his initials. He's got it all down here.
This conversation is so crazy because he says he was voted by the fans, and then Larry Zbyszko says, "Those aren't sideburns. They are his initials." And then Mike Tanay says, "Well, they are his. Well, they are sideburns, but they're also." That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, Nash says, "We're not doing that whole Van Dyke debate here, are we?" And Zbyszko says, "Dick Van Dyke's here?" And then Nash says, "Dean Malenko is Jerry from the Dick Van Dyke Show. People didn't know that." Today says, amazing.
Today, yeah. Amazing the facts we have here for the viewers of Thunder tonight. Anyways.
Body slam.
Al Green catches a crossbody into a power slam on Lash LeRoux. And then Lash LeRoux wins with the whiplash, which is a Samoan driver. And it cuts to the crowd here cheering as this guy won. And there's one old dude in the crowd who is just, he's like, I wanted to see Jim Duggan more.
Where's Jim? What did you think of the Bourbon Street Crawdad maneuver?
Oh, the split with the clothesline?
Clothesline, yes.
Well, I didn't understand it at first, and then thankfully he came out later, and I caught just a little bit of his promo.
I thought if anyone would understand it, would be you. Come on now. I think you were tapped in.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of tapped in, you know what I mean? I do like Cajun seasoning, but...
That's amen to that.
At one point, I swear to God, he wasn't even saying words, so... I'm interested to get to that point of the show.
Yeah,
but
I can't wait to see what we all wrote down what he said.
Yeah, that was fucked up. Lash LeRoux versus Al Green, everybody.
Yes.
So we go to a pre-tape of Harlem Heat versus Brian Knobbs and Hugh Morris.
That's right. That's Jimmy Hart's first family. And I was like, why the fuck is... I mean, listen, not that I am a fan of the Nasty Boys, but why the fuck is Brian Knobbs not with Jerry Saggs here? Well, Jerry Saggs was retired here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
really?
so I guess the next best thing was Hugh Morris.
Why would you retire when you can just make a ton of money in WCW?
Well, don't worry, he comes back.
I guess Knobbs was a hardcore division guy, right, too?
Yeah, that's
when
right.
Russo? Yeah, okay.
Well, somebody was pinning, I think Stevie Ray was pinning Brian Knobbs, is that right?
That's right. It was Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray kicked the trash can in Knobbs' face. This is on, like, Nitro. So Knobbs and Hugh Morris attacked Harlem Heat earlier on Nitro, and then they took the tag titles. Then later in the night, I guess Knobbs was wrestling Stevie Ray. And
was it a tag match? Or
I don't know.
Yeah, they were all out there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Stevie Ray kicks a trash can in Knobbs' face and then covers him, and then Jimmy Hart gets into the ring with a trash can, runs across the ring, hits the ropes, runs towards the pin, jumps, and then hits Stevie Ray with the trash can.
The rope run trash hit is nuts, man. Yeah, so Jimmy then puts Knobbs on top of Stevie and singles win?
Yeah, he wins
I don't know.
Whatever it is, I promise you, I don't want to see any more of that.
Well, now it's time for the Total Package Town Hall.
TP, thank you for getting that right, because it is Total Package, not Lex Luger.
Yeah, he says in this promo that Lex Luger died, all right? It's fucking Total Package.
Because of you people.
So Mike Tenay says the committee has been working tirelessly to put together Lex Luger versus Buff Bagwell on Thunder.
Yeah, that must have been really hard to do because nobody wanted to work Thunder.
Yeah, like just begging people to come to town, please. There's still 4,000 people here, guys. Someone show up.
And we're still paying you. Like, what the fuck? Just get in the ring. Zabisco says that Total Package has Elizabeth lurking, around those ringside ropes, and that's very distracting. And Nash says, I think Liz has some nice genetics. And Zabisco says, there's a couple of wonders there. And Nash says, God, listen up there. Let's have some fun tonight. Zabisco starts talking about golf. And Kevin Nash starts yelling, it's in the hole! It's in the hole!
Dude, that shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, and then Larry Zabisco challenges Michael Jordan to a one-on-one golf match.
He got a couple of nice wonders. Attaboy.
Attaboy, Larry.
They stop talking for a second. Zabisco says, I don't see a putting green. And then they all go quiet again. And Tenay goes, I knew we would get a fucking golf reference in here, man. He said, what do we make it? Like, let's synchronize watch it 25 minutes here. Zabisco says, what did you put the over under? It's in the hole. It's in the hole. And Zabisco says, Michael Jordan.
You son of a bitch.
Anyways, TP's in the ring. He's like the biggest star on the show.
What the fuck? I was like, my brain, like, it's only 25 minutes in. My brain is already spinning. I'm like, what?
I'm challenging Michael Jordan anytime, any place, anywhere. Right
anywhere. Now. Yeah, okay, that's cool. So TP says, after 13 years in this great sport, guys like myself and Kevin Nash over there are saying to ourselves, why do we even have to come to a town like Baton Rouge? And Nash on commentary says, I never said that.
You get me heat.
Then I was very confused until he goes back to this later. But TP then says, Elizabeth, how many internet emails, cards, letters? Then he goes on like a diatribe for the next 3 minutes about something completely unrelated. I said, what? What happened?
The crowd just starts talking to the crowd. Yeah, he just starts.
They jarred him.
Shut up! Just fucking. I'm trying to say something here. Just people.
He says, if you want me to talk, you're gonna shut up. And Nash says, oh, he's just so smug. TP says, listen, you're looking at a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to look at a beautiful woman like Elizabeth and a man such as that Total Package. You can walk in any locker room, whether it's NFL, MLB, NBA, and turn heads. And I'm not talking about those sawed-off runts in the back who aren't super athletes like me. This is a great line in this next one. They all want to, be big stars, but they don't have the necessities to do it. I never heard it phrased like that.
He goes back to that too. Yeah,
he does. He's like, oh, I hit some here. TP says, you wonder why Lex Luger isn't here anymore, and he's dead and buried. It's your fault, you people. Wrestling fans like you, and what you're looking at is the greatest mesomorphic physique today.
I love that line. I thought that's the craziest he's lost his mind line that he could have thrown out there.
Yeah.
He was the greatest artists are not appreciated until they're gone. And he flexes his fucking bicep and he says, and this right here is the greatest mesomorphic physique in the world today.
I even had to look at him. I was like, the fuck is that a real word? But it is.
Yeah, he is totally gone off the deep end.
Dude, and then right after he says that, it cuts to a shot of the crowd with someone giving their buddy a torture rack.
Dude, that is Nash awesome. Says, I love that.
Yeah, Nash says, the old glory torture rack.
Dude, the WCW giving your friend the rack at the show.
Dude, that was the best. Classic.
Yeah,
classic.
That is the best. That happens on so many shows, especially when Luger is getting his big face push and
super over.
Yeah, they're getting him towards Hogan. Everyone was racking their friends in the crowd when he was crazy. Out there.
If my friend just picked me up at a WCW show and started racking,
just start racking me. Oh shit! You gotta give him the taunt too, Tony.
Yeah, you gotta G him up for it.
Dude, that's like the RKO out of nowhere, but the torture rack, just fucking grab your friend and throw him up.
People might not know how over the torture rack was, boys. I mean, it was an over fucking move. Over.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know Luger. They only know Luger from his WWE run and then when he showed up in the Seinfeld shirt. But he was super over, man. He's the shit. We fuck with Lex Luger, man. Give him the rack.
The taunt is money, too. Goddamn. Yeah, old glory torture rack. I was like, oh my. Is that what we got here? TP says, when I tore the tendon off the bone in my bicep, how many cards? I was like, oh, shit, okay, here's the cards thing. How many cards, letters, phone calls did I get from these fans? Liz says, I can't think of any. Then I swear I heard a USA chant, which Luger tries to not laugh at. They just wanted Jim Duggan back.
Yeah, bring him back out.
It was just that one old guy. TP says, when I was injured, I know there was a lot of... USA!
He was Mid-South Heavyweight Champion!
He taped his fist! He taped his fucking fist!
This shit means something to me, man!
I'm gonna wreck my friend up! TP says, when I was injured, I know there was a lot of pleasure in the back for the wrestlers because I've been on top since day one of the sport because I have all the necessities.
Oh, man, yeah.
I love the necessities.
He doesn't get a lot of moments in this gimmick.
No.
He definitely gets more in his face run.
But I definitely look back more fondly on the TP gimmick than I did when I was growing up.
Yeah, I think because we watched it a lot more.
Yeah, so. I think that's right. Well, here comes the craziest looking man on the show so far, which is saying a lot. Here comes Buff Bagwell in an insane pair of denim overalls with Buff written all over them. One leg has him on it, airbrushed, and the other has just a random woman airbrushed. And Nash says that much airbrush should be against the law.
This is a very toyetic man.
Yeah, that's a great way to put that.
I don't think they ever made a toy of this.
Not of this one. He did have a figure. This is awesome. WCW did make a figure of him where it came with a top hat, and if you squeeze his legs together, the top hat popped off.
Like it was like an odd job thing?
Yeah, it was like a you can shoot it at somebody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, we're banning Buff Bagwell hat in my toy feds.
Shit.
So sorry, man.
Come on,
yeah, it's just gotta happen, man. It's getting too cheesy in here.
Sergeant Slaughter figure bought from Tony
with the paper in the hand.
Yeah. So Buff gets in the ring and TP says, "Wow, it's Buff Bagwell, and he carries his own mic now. He's a big star." What the fuck does that mean? Buff says, "Everyone knows you're the Total Package and you're one of the best wrestlers in the business. But when you say not one person tried to get in touch with you, that's a lie." And TP says, "So you call me a liar?" And the crowd pops, and Buff says, "Oh, no, hold on, no. No, I'm not. I never said that shit." He says, I tried calling you. I came by the gym. I tried to get in touch with you, and it just so happens maybe you're too busy being the Total Package that you forgot a few of your friends, if you know what I mean."
Buff, by the way, no mustache.
Oh, you're right.
He just came back from Dagestan.
That's smash. Buff says you forgot a few of your friends, and Nash on commentary says, "Aw." He feels bad.
Luger,
for him.
by the way, when Buff came down here and he got in the ring, and like Luger was still talking, it was a very like just a 1 second thing. But Luger was talking as Buff came in the ring, and he's talking. He's like, "Yeah, how many cars? Hey, I'm talking."
Yeah, because the crowd's getting fired up about Buff coming out. And,
I thought that shit was so funny. And then it zooms in on Buff's face, and there's no mustache on his goatee. I said, "What the fuck?"
That was this guy. Buff says, "So what's going on with you and Sting? You know, I want to know like everybody else does." And then he doesn't let him answer. He just says, "You want a shot at me, big man? Next Thursday, let's get it on."
This match already got announced, by the way.
Dude, before this promo,
the committee was working tirelessly to put that match together for you.
Do they know these two?
Maybe not. Yeah, they're still working.
TP says, "You know Marcus? Marcus, oh my, shoot name. You'll get an opportunity, but before you leave this ring, you should get down on your hands and knees and thank me for giving you this opportunity to even step in the ring with the Total Package.
With the mesomorphic physique.
The necessities
He's got all the necessities.
You don't got them." While TP is saying this, I thought the crowd was booing or something, but they were going, because Rick Steiner comes out. I said, "The fuck was going on?" And then they showed Rick Steiner. I said, "Oh, I see."
Yeah.
So Rick Steiner gets on the apron. Buff rushes at him like he's going to hit him, but I guess maybe Luger was supposed to glom him earlier than he did because Buff just stops in front of him and then Luger attacks him.
You could have convinced me, by the way, that like none of this was on the sheet and they just said, whatever.
Go out there and figure it out. Yeah, I could see that.
Rick Steiner just like, I'm going to go do something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to go out there, no music, whatever. Because they didn't hit music for any guys that just came out, did they?
No, they just Buff got music, I think, right? Or no?
No,
he just came out with the mic. Yeah.
Wow, in my head he did. I was
just sang it in your head.
Whenever you see that dude, its theme's always playing.
I think that's a Vince thing. The playing a song when somebody, because I don't know if WCW did that as much. At least not until like maybe after Russo was there. But I think McMahon was like you are a bigger star if you come out to your music.
Right. You're getting that pop. Yeah,
that's right. Luger attacks Buff from behind. Nash says, "Oh, the sneak submarine attack." What? Then TP and Steiner stomp out Buff Bagwell until La Parka runs in and gets caught up in the ropes.
That's the chairman of the WCW.
And he has a chair. He has a chair, and Nash is befuddled like he didn't write this show. He says, "What the heck?
Oh my God.
What is he doing?" So La Parka clears house with the chair. And so fucking TP and Steiner powder, and they're going up the ramp. And Nash says, "Well, here's a fact you don't know today. Lex Luger is horrified, terrified of skeletons." And Tenay says, wow.
As they go to commercial.
And then it goes to black, wow.
Yeah, man. They're cooking with this one. You know what? I saw this and I was like, okay, so he definitely did this to rib the skeleton thing. And then we get the match later, and I go, wow, this might have been the biggest rib of all time.
This was the funniest thing Kevin Nash has ever done, ever.
Dude, he set it up just to hit it out of the park. I tell you.
Yeah, dude, it's his masterpiece. It's like his what do you call that? The fucking piece de la resistance. Like, he really put that bitch in there, you know?
I don't know if that's right, but that feels fucking right, buddy.
Yeah, like, really, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man, that shit had me fired
Magnum
up.
Opus, how we looking for it?
Yeah, Magnum Opus. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I like what you said more.
Dude, yeah, I really had to dig deep.
Yeah. I mean, where'd you even get that from? We'll talk about that.
No fucking idea.
Yeah, wow, that was
idea.
impressive. I like that. But yeah, Nash definitely sitting back there with the boys and saying, hey, I'm going to fucking La Parka. He's in the main. I said,
hey, yo, you should use the skeleton, Meng.
Not me, Meng. I don't want any part of this show.
If they ask where the medium-sized Meng is, you tell them I was back here with the skeleton.
The skeleton Meng.
I'm
hanging out with the skeleton Meng.
Tell them I'm in the outfit.
That would be crazy as shit. Wow. So we go to a pre-tape. Billy Kidman comes running out of the shower fully clothed.
Well, this is, of course, because Tori Wilson's been the center of attention lately with a lot of men in the locker room. And
all the men would like to have relations with Tori Wilson.
Well, David Flair's not happy about this. David Flair is dating Tori Wilson.
How is David Flair with not only Tori Wilson,
Stacy,
but Miss Hancock?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something we don't know about the young lad.
Yeah, he can run the ropes crazy.
Look at him go. Look at him.
Look at that guy. That's your seed. My seed, that's not your seed.
That's my son.
So Tori Wilson then comes out of the shower afterwards in a towel.
Billy Kidman with clothes.
With clothes.
Yeah.
What were they doing?
Going
Hanging out.
Spots. Yeah. She was just butt-ass naked for some reason.
Yeah, and then, like you said, David Flair comes in and he's asking the questions everyone wants to fucking ask.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Why was that guy fully clothed?
Yeah, why was he not butt-ass naked with you? What the fuck is this dude's problem?
If I come in on my girlfriend and she's with a dude fully clothed, I'd be like, oh, okay, what's up, man?
Hey, yo, that's what I would say.
They were just playing N64 in the shower or something.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
In the shower?
Yeah, they got
we played that ECW mod, James, and went into the shower room. The water just bounces off your gear. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn. He wasn't wet, was he?
He was not wet.
Nobody was wet. She came out in the towel fully fine. The towel was... She was not. She was not. Not until David Flair walked in.
He ran in.
Yeah, man. So not only that, we cut to a different part here, and Tori Wilson is getting rizzed up by Mr. Perfect and Curly Bill.
That's... For those who don't know, that's Vince and that's Virgil. That's Virgil.
That's Virgil in a cowboy hat.
Dude, I legit wrote Curt Hennig trying to rizz up Tori Wilson. Yeah, he says, you need to get with a real man, 6'3", chiseled, not one of these kids. David Flair comes up and he's like, hey, Tori, what's going on? And Curt Hennig looks at the side and says, hey, kid, buzz off! Don't peek over my back fence. I'm doing business here. He turns back to Tori anyway. I got 2 CDs, right? I got that. Well, David Flair tries to talk to her again, and Curt Hennig turns 2 CDs. Yeah, 2 of them. I don't know how that's possible.
Me neither, dude. And he's doing all this, and Virgil's in the back with the cowboy hat on. He's like at least 10 steps. Yeah, back there.
I didn't even see him at first. He's so far away. So David Flair comes back up to talk, and Curt Hennig turns to him and said, hey, I said, buzz off, and he punches David Flair in the face. And then this brutal assault that they put on him includes Virgil holding David Flair's arms so they can pull his shirt up and Curt Hennig can chop him.
Hey, that was for your dad.
The fuck?
Yeah, in the middle of an assault backstage, he chops his shit out of the fuck you.
Yeah, you bitch, and then he leaves and says, hey, let me show you something that you haven't seen, Tori. What?
Curly Bill.
A naked man.
She's always seen fully clothed dudes.
Curly Bill.
This is the craziest. You know, I would love to know how much Virgil was making in WCW. It was probably a lot.
$800,000.
Yeah. He's like, you're Curly Bill. He said, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I don't care.
Yeah. Virgil made a little over $100,000 a year during his WCW run.
Wow, that is fantastic fucking money. Like, he wasn't even like bumping.
Dude, he didn't do anything, I don't think.
He was just always standing there.
He was the leader of the B team.
So we go to Brian Knobbs and Hugh Morris versus Scott and Steve Armstrong.
Wow, first of all, I didn't know Steve Armstrong was a person. I didn't know this guy existed. I knew Brad. I knew Road Dogg. I knew Scott.
Yeah.
Steve Armstrong.
Yeah. I also...
Like a hidden Von Erich?
Yeah, kind of like that, really.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
The hidden Von Erich is actually Curly Bill.
He's got no legs, no arms.
And he's still the Intercontinental Champion. How's this happening?
It's just over. Hugh Morris here, haired out, crazy, great clips, fucking cut. I mean, this is an insane looking human being.
These guys are like default CAWs.
Yeah, like if you like hit random enough to try to find the fattest, shittiest pair you could find, yeah.
Brian Knobbs and Hugh Morris are like the dudes you made to face in like Day of Reckoning at the beginning, and you face like the default guys.
Wow, you're right. Holy shit.
And also, and I'm not going to let this one slide, Brian Knobbs and Hugh Morris tag team is crazy fucking work, man. And with Jimmy Hart, by the way.
The first family.
You are not getting away with this one.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. There's been a lot of teams we've seen, on the history of this podcast, and I don't know if there's one I hate more to look at than Brian Knobbs and Hugh Morris.
Yeah, this shit pisses me off.
The first family, Tony. I fucking hate
this
the first family.
This is the worst family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. What the fuck? I did it.
Wow. What are you drinking? What's in your water? You got some of your water over there?
Can I buy it? All right, so we get into this tag team match here. Hugh Morris hits a gorilla press slam on Steve Armstrong.
I'm shocked that you even remembered his name. Yeah, wow.
He took all the heat. That's all. I heard him say Steve at the start. And I said, okay, he's taking all the heat.
Well, Scott's not. He's old as shit.
So Nash says it's very crazy that Hugh Morris flies to Japan once a week to get his hair done by Japanese wrestling legend Bull Nakano.
Dude, Mike Tenay says, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
He got fired up. Yeah, you know Japanese wrestling is fucking good.
Very nice Japanese women's wrestling reference by Kevin Nash. And Nash laughs and says, thank you very much. I'm learning, Mike.
That was after Tenay was trying to put over Hugh Morris's finish.
The no laughing matter moonsault.
Yeah, he says it's even more. He said that's an impressive move, and yeah, Nash said it's even more impressive that he goes to Japan every week to get a haircut.
Hugh Morris goes for the no laughing matter elbow drop. This is different from the moonsault, and he misses for a double down.
Dude, Nash was fired up about it. Hugh Morris starts to go up, and he says, "Oh, is this it?" No, he's not backwards.
So Steve Armstrong goes for a
Steve Armstrong.
No, it's not, you fucking asshole. It never was.
So fucking sorry. I love the British Bulldog as well.
So Steve Armstrong goes for a hot tag, but Knobbs pushes him out of the ring. I don't know if that was supposed to happen or what was supposed to happen. The ref doesn't seem to care that no one tagged. And everyone on commentary said, what the hell's going on?
Shockingly, this happens more than once on this show in tag matches.
It does. Yeah, with Rick later.
Yes.
Right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that counted as a tag. The ref did not go or nothing.
No, he didn't. He just kind of went to the finish. I guess I didn't see him tag him on the way out. I don't know if that counts anyway, but who fucking cares?
Nothing counts unless the ref's got to give you the, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
someone's got to go tag.
Yeah, you're right.
Hugh Morrison hits the no laughing matter moonsault and wins the match.
It is a nice looking moonsault. I'll give that fat man that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the no laughing matter moonsault.
I'm not. Why are you laughing? What the fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit, I forgot. I'm not supposed to laugh during it. Jesus, I'm sorry.
Got heat now.
So Brian Knobbs is yelling at Brad Armstrong, and he's really mad that Booker and Stevie called him a fruit booty.
Yeah, he's pointing down at him, saying, Booker T, Stevie Ray, I told you two idiots. Who are the fruit booties now? The commentary is very confused. Well, here comes Harlem Heat. Again, no music, because that's not a
But Tenay says that Jimmy Hart has brainwashed them into thinking that Steve and Scott Armstrong are Harlem Heat.
I don't know if there's any world where I would make this mistake.
How is confused the Armstrong brothers as Harlem Heat.
You know, I wrote the Armstrong brothers. I don't know who Steve Armstrong is.
They are the real first family, the Armstrong family.
He is the son of Bob Armstrong.
So they got to be brothers, right?
So he's brothers of Scott, Brad, and Brian. That's right.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
So
the Harlem Heat rundown, you're right.
Yeah, so Harlem Heat come out, first family powder. Nash says, that's not Booker T, that's Wesley Snipes. No, that's Booker T.
Oh, that's Booker T.
Stevie Ray, I laughed so hard at this. I don't know what this means.
You know what's actually funny about this line that he says right here is that
Sure.
I actually didn't hear it right the first time, and I had to rewind it like 4 times. I laughed every time I had to rewind it, though.
I'm going to use this going forward. Stevie Ray says, hey, Brian Knobs. Hey, laughing man. We ain't got to wait till Halloween Havoc. You donut-eating, milk-drinking fruit booties. We can get on right now, sucker.
Yeah, I totally...
milk drinking.
I totally didn't hear it right the first time. I was like, donut-eating, milkshake, fruit booty. I said, what the hell? And I went back, oh, milk-drinking fruit booty.
Those are 2 bad things to do. Donut-eating, milk-drinking. That was so fucking funny, and they didn't fight. They just left. Yeah, no.
I guess he's cool with being a donut-eating, milk-drinking fruit booty.
You know, I think I am too.
That's kind of what I am.
You know what? I'm starting to think you're one of the Harlem Heat guys. Now that I look at you.
So we go to a pre-tape: Rey Mysterio versus Perry Saturn.
This match is actually like for a reason. The build for this one. This leads somewhere. I'm stunned.
Yeah, I guess they're breaking up the Revolution. Is that right?
That's what they're kind of alluding to here. I imagine some of the members of the Revolution are leaving soon.
Better watch out.
Yeah.
Might change the business forever.
So yeah, it's like the Revolution against Filthy Animals. They're recapping Saturn, Mysterio, and Nitro.
Yeah, so Shane Douglas ran down. He grabs the steel chain out of his elbow pad, loaded elbow pad with a steel chain, which is crazy.
That is insane. That's a lot of layers.
And then Billy Kidman and Dean Malenko come down and make the save.
Yeah, Dean Malenko stops Shane Douglas from using the chain because I guess they're having issues. Billy Kidman gets into... Well, first of all, Tenay needs to get in trouble for this because Tenay says, oh, we should change his name from Shane Douglas to Chain Douglas.
He doubles down on that later.
He does. Zbyszko brings it back up too. But yes, Billy Kidman slides in the ring, and that's a disqualification.
Okay.
What happened here? What the fuck? He like slid in to check on Ray, and then the ref said, fuck that. Get the fuck out of here,
what
buddy.
the fuck?
Well, yeah, so then
I don't know. That was on the sheet. You know, it just said DQ you when you run in. I don't know. What else do you want?
Yeah, what am I supposed to do? So then we go back to a shot of the commentators. Nash looks perplexed. And now it's time for one of the funniest things I've ever seen on a wrestling show ever. And maybe something that you could attribute to being why WCW ended up the way it was. But it made me very happy.
Yeah, all right. So that's what you really got to like preface this with, like, this is very fucking funny. Like, this is incredibly funny.
Yes.
You also can't make fun of your product like this live.
Dude, James, this is the main event angle they're making fun of.
You gotta let other people do this. Like, you can't do this on the show.
Yeah, like, you can do it within the angle. You can get away with it. Kevin Nash has nothing to do with this angle.
No, nothing at all. He booked it.
He's retired, Tony. Yeah, you're right.
He booked the angle.
Yeah, he did.
He's making fun of shit he booked. He booked it a joke on it.
It's fucking...
And he still got paid more money.
Dude, and he didn't have to bump. Or lose.
Wow, man.
So today's talking about this Goldberg Sid Vicious thing. That's what we're talking about here. It's Goldberg and Sid Vicious. That's the hype for Halloween Havoc. I don't think the match even happens, by the way, because I think it
he gets
turns
hurt,
into
right?
I think so, and I think it turns into like a tag or some shit. Tenay says when the match was laid down by Goldberg to Sid Vicious, Sid had one condition: there could be no physical contact between the two until Halloween Havoc, and we saw what happened on Monday, so we don't know what the status of the match is. Well, Nash says, well, in essence, you guys think I've just been sitting on my hands all day, but I went into the truck today and sat in front of the IMAX edit machines, and I put together an unbelievable package. And Tenay says, it's ready to go? Like, it's self-contained? It's got audio and everything with it? And Nash says, I mean, well... and Tenay says, well, we gotta narrate this? So it's showing footage of Goldberg walking through the backstage, and Nash says, Bill Goldberg. I'll do it, all right? Bill Goldberg, a gladiator of a man, making... And then Goldberg in the video is talking, so Nash has to stop. And Goldberg and Sid Vicious are face-to-face yelling at each other, and Sid Vicious says, you know the word intimidation? You know what the word for frustration is? Because you can't touch me, Goldberg. And Nash says, a man cannot touch another man. Sid says, does it feel good? Nash says, we don't know because we haven't touched. Goldberg says, how does it feel to be afraid, Sid? And Sid is laughing very loud at him. He said, ha 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 ha. And Nash says, I laugh at you.
How am I doing so far, Mike?
How am I doing, Mike? Mike says, would you like us to join in? Nash says, I would love that. Goldberg says, watch this. And Nash says, watch this. Then Goldberg is walking, he's doing his entrance, and Nash says, and the very short policeman, look at the gigantic Goldberg. They show Goldberg spearing Horace Hogan now, and Nash then says, watch me milk the hard cam here. Watch me milk the hard cam. Where am I? I'm milking the hard cam. He's in the front row with Scott Hall.
Scott Hall is there.
Yeah, he's there in the crowd chilling. Nash says, Goldberg, a man on a mission. Goldberg hits a jackhammer on Horace Hogan. And Nash says, I felt that. That's not Goldberg on a mission, Halloween Havoc. Boom, boom, boom. Bill Goldberg, a bald-headed man with a tattoo, who has only lost one time to a fierce warrior, Kevin Nash.
He booked all of this.
This is all Nash's booking. Zbyszko says, can you pass me Kevin's water? Nash immediately says, gigantic traps. Tenay says, you ever worked for NFL Films? Nash says, yeah. Bill Goldberg.
This is such a long package, dude.
It's unbelievable.
It's like 10 minutes, man. It's a long package.
It's so fucking funny, though. So they show a shot of Sid coming to the ring. Nash says, Sid, 6'10", 200, no 3, no 591 pounds of menacing steel. The current champion. Sid Vicious tells the world, Bill Goldberg, if you touch me, there will be no match at Halloween Havoc. Wait a second, there's a spear. So they show Sid wrestling Van Hammer. And in this match with Van Hammer, the ref's knocked out. Rick Steiner hits a fucking bulldog off the top on Van Hammer. Nash says, with the help of his ally, Rick Steiner, Van Hammer goes down to defeat at the current Nitro as the bald-headed man that is not Goldberg in the back in stripes, saying, powerbomb this Van Hammer man. Then Nash says, I forgot what's next. I added some stuff about the main event in here. Then Nash says, Rick Steiner, man from Detroit, Michigan, that speaks like a southern redneck. What's that about? Why does he fucking speak like that? I don't understand. So now it's a shot of Bret Hart and Benoit taking on Rick Steiner in Total Package. And Nash says, oh, here it is. Here's the stuff I put in. This is the main event. Sid runs in, attacks Benoit and Bret. Then he hits a powerbomb on Benoit. And Nash says, as the crowd chants for Goldberg, the menacing bald-headed giant of a man who has a record second to none. Am I still on? And here he comes. The people chant his name, and once again, this champion delivers a spear second to none. He turns, and now he reckons the fact that he cannot touch the agile giant Vicious. And Sid yells, you can't touch me! And Nash says, I just said that, Sid. Nash says, Goldberg ponders the situation, looks from side to side, walks away, gives a wink, and a tackle. What will happen? What was Monday bring us? This is so fucking funny. If you haven't seen this, I don't know if I've ever seen this.
I don't think I ever have either, no.
I don't think I have, but we watched Nash do this the other time we watched WCW 2. When he was on commentary, he does this. He riffs on all the pre-tapes.
And he does that voice. Bill Goldberg. Dude, yeah. Writing that down was hard. Just so everyone knows. Yeah, that was a rough one.
I messaged him. I said, best of luck tonight with that one.
I hope I did well.
Yeah, that was, I mean, you know, I have no ties to this, so this was funny as fuck.
But if this happened on our show, I'd be the maddest man of all time.
Dude, Goldberg was probably fucking pissed. Headbutt a locker and Kevin Nash.
If Goldberg watched the show, yeah, he'd be mad.
You're right. He probably didn't see
it. Yeah. So we move on after that to the next match of the evening.
How is this match possible?
Dude, this is like the craziest. Like,
this is a Johnny match here.
This is nuts
what the
here.
fuck?
Horace Hogan versus Bryan Adams.
He's just Horace somehow. I don't know why that is.
Horace.
Do you like Horace's Tron?
What was it?
It was Horace Hogan with sunglasses. And then he didn't have them on.
Oh, shit. Like, that's real sick. You know, that's me wearing sunglasses, too.
That's relatable.
This is, wow. So this is pre-chronic Bryan Adams. Just a big dude.
Yeah. At first he came out, I thought it was Eric Watts. It was not. It was Bryan Adams.
Yeah. And he's in good shape. Horace is in good shape. Horace actually is not Steve Austin right now. He's just Horace, and he's in a singlet.
Well, that's why he's not getting as big of a push, because he's not Steve Austin here.
Well, apparently he's fired or something.
Yeah, if he wants to be.
Yeah, that's true. You can come back $500.
That's his call.
So yeah, Bryan Adams, regular dude. Tenay mentions that Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit are in New Japan for a tour, and they're not coming back ever.
Yeah, they say Benoit threw the Revolution shirt at Shane Douglas on Monday, and the issues have set up. They're so deep that Malenko and Benoit have left the country. And Nash says, I thought he threw the shirt at him because the shirt was so damn ugly.
No. So we get started with the match. Bryan Adams is on top, hits a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
This feels long, this match.
It does, because, the only thing Bryan Adams do all match is fucking backbreakers.
He does do a lot of that. He's the messiah of backbreakers.
He's like the shitty-ass version of the best wrestler ever. So Horace hits a mule kick, low blow, and Nash immediately goes to the well. Doesn't even hesitate. Dude, the old glory mule kick.
He starts laughing at it too.
Tenay says, next time you do one of those video packages, you should get some audio. And Nash says, well, why don't you get in the booth instead of chasing those girls? All right, I'm just kidding. I know you got a wife.
Oh, your wife might be listening. Just kidding. Sorry about that.
So Bisco says she would never even believe it.
Oh, and Nash says you're pretty safe to bet that Luger isn't coming down because there's skeletons on the side of Horace's pants. And Zbyszko says he's not Luger anymore. And Nash says, oh, man, that's right. Now I'm going to get heat. Sorry, Package. Just tell Package I'm going to put a package together for him next Thursday.
He's just riffing. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Nash says this was originally a hair versus hair match. And Tenay said, Horace looks like he already lost.
What I want.
So Horace hits the SmackDown vs. Raw neck breaker into a fucking running splash. I don't know if he decided halfway off the Irish whip that he did that he was like, I'm just going for the splash. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, he got some height on it though, at least. I mean, I'll
give him that. He went up there and he's like, oh shit, splash. Bryan Adams cuts him off, hits a pile driver, and Bryan Adams wins.
That pile driver was fucking nutty looking.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go to the left.
Yeah, he crunches him on his own thigh. Yeah. Zbyszko says, by the way, Moses lost your keys. And Nash says, oh, it's in space 69.
So we go to Lash LeRoux Town Hall with Mean Gene.
Yeah.
Mean Gene being in the ring is always weird to me. He should be on the ramp.
I guess when he does the Flair ones, there's a lot of Flair ones in the ring. That's what I remember.
Oh, he does, yeah.
Yeah, I actually so yeah, the Four Horsemen ones were usually in the ring. Yeah, but except for the one we watched last time where that shit was off the rails completely. That
was crazy. Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah,
but yeah, Mean Gene's here with Lash LeRoux, who had a match earlier and then sat backstage until it was time to do his promo an hour later. And Lash LeRoux cuts an insane promo. Where he is putting over a fucking cruiserweight title match with Disco Inferno.
For Halloween Havoc is 10 days away, and they've just now discovered that he's getting a shot for the cruiserweight title. So Lash LeRoux comes out, and Tenay, I guess this is where Tenay decided he's had enough. Tenay says not only did he score a victory here tonight on Thunder, but he gets promo time as well. And Nash says, what's with that? Who's booking this?
Nash was actually really like Lash LeRoux. I think he kind of pushed him when he had the book. Yeah, when he had the book, he was pushing him. Apparently, he's only 22 years old.
Here?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he says that in the promo. I'm 22 or something.
Yeah, you're right. God,
I caught that little bit.
I don't know how you understood it, but there you go.
I caught that shit. Yeah, man. This promo, like I said, he's got this accent, but yeah, it's about this Halloween Havoc Disco Inferno shit, and yeah, it's pretty much just that. At one point, he goes off the rails and says, "I'm gonna assume it's like local dialect. It's gotta be."
Right before he gets to that, the little bit of the promo that I could understand was that he said he has all his Lash lovers out here, and the one thing they want to see me do is go to Las Vegas. Sorry, that's Las Vegas for Halloween Havoc. And when I walk out of there, I'm gonna walk out with this strap. And Mean Gene says, "With Disco being your opponent, can you dance?" "I cannot dance. Have you been seeing the Bourbon Street Blues? You gotta give me a couple of shots. I pop a little clothes, and I'm talking about that last shalom be going boing out.
Yeah. Hey yo, what did he say? What is he saying?
What did he say?
La sana no bonga tongue wale.
Esquiodo.
That's gotta be somebody from the area's gotta tell. That's gotta be local dialect. You guys have to know what that is.
No, he is. He said that crowd pops, so they love it.
But like somebody listening that's from that area, listen to this promo.
Tell me what it means.
Actually, transcript the whole promo actually in this way. That would be awesome.
Put it on the Reddit or something because we need to know.
I mean, I'll be honest though. I kind of fuck with Lash LeRoux.
You know what? I was kind of feeling that too. I mean, he's a young blue chipper.
I like the promo. I couldn't understand it, but man, I could feel it, you know?
He's got something to him, you know?
Yeah.
Like
it felt sincere.
Yeah, you know, and well, it doesn't work out too great for him.
Yeah, what did he like retire?
Oh, he got signed to a developmental deal and then went to Heartland Wrestling and then never did anything after that.
Then he got released, yeah. Oh, he got released in 2001, later stating he preferred to pursue other options after it became apparent the WWF had no plans for him. He was on the first TNA weekly pay-per-view from April to July 2004. He traveled south to Orlando, Florida, and appeared occasionally on Explosion for TNA. He did some indies, and then he retired at some point here and became a pastor.
He's a good artist too.
Is that right?
He can draw really well, yeah. And he wrestled Joey Janela like last year.
I do remember that. He did come back to do that, yeah.
So yeah, man, I don't know if you listen to podcasts or whatever or what you fuck with, but if you ever hear this, we fuck with the fucking Raging Cajun.
Yeah, and maybe if you can tell us what the fuck you're talking about, that'd be awesome. But I'm down with it.
Yeah, lock us the fuck in.
We're in. We just want to be all the way in, you know?
Yeah, for real. So we go to a pre-tape. I cannot believe I'm looking at this. So there's a pre-tape now, and it is Berlin and Brad Armstrong in a feud with each other.
Not only is it a feud, but it is a feud that is getting not only a hype video, but Berlin gets a match on this show.
Yeah, so Berlin says something to LA Knight, who walks by, and he comes back and he says, "You're going to speak English when you're in America."
Yeah, he says something to him in German, and he fucking got real mad about that. He gripped him out. "I don't know where the hell you think you're from, buddy. This is America. You speak English to me."
Yeah.
That looks like LA Knight. Wow,
dude, his side profile looked like LA Knight crazy.
Yeah, Jesus. So yeah, Brad walks away and Berlin goes back to Berlin was just standing in the hallway against the wall, by the way. Like,
I don't even know what he said.
No,
he could have said, "Nice, you look like LA Knight."
Yeah, nice. Yeah, in German.
Yeah.
So Brad Armstrong has a match with Curt Hennig, and Berlin comes out on the apron. Brad gloms him, but then the bodyguard, aka the Wall, comes out and nails Armstrong, will leach them, getting hit with a perfect plex and losing. Then they don't say what shows these are on, so I don't know the timeline of any of this. Brad Armstrong is walking around backstage at some point. He gets attacked by the bodyguard. Then Berlin walks up, talks some shit in German. Brad Armstrong takes his cane and hits the wall with it. And then another show, Brad's having a match with La Parka. The ref is bumped. Berlin tries to attack him, but Brad Armstrong cuts him off. Then the Wall hits La Parka with a chair and throws him into the ring. Then Berlin attacks Brad Armstrong and hits him with his patented the neck breaker. And then Brad, after getting hit with the neck breaker, is able to lay on La Parka and win anyway.
All right, so the bodyguard attacked La Parka with a chair.
Right.
Berlin attacked Brad Armstrong with a neck breaker.
Right.
And then Brad Armstrong pinned LaParca.
Right. And Berlin watched him win.
What the fuck? All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any fucking idea what any of
I
this
don't know
is
if
about.
I've ever seen that. Two guys get attacked and one of them still wins a match.
Yeah.
But like not intentional. It wasn't like someone came in and
yeah, right.
They were like, I'm going to help Brad Armstrong win. No, they didn't want either of them to win. But Brad Armstrong just got over to him and put his arm on him and won.
And they let it happen. They were like, whatever, our damage has been done.
And then LaParca loses to Brad Armstrong, and then he's in the main event with TP and Buff Bagwell. And
he's chased off Rick Steiner and Lex Luger.
What the fuck is going on? Anyways, time for Prince Iaukea versus Berlin.
Great. Fucking great, man. To go along with all the other fucking great matches on this show. God damn it.
This is a hot feud. We're leading up to the pay-per-view, okay? We got the
hot
Berlin
dog
bet
shit.
Dude, all right. So Berlin comes out here with the bodyguard, and Kevin Nash just screams, "Gigantic bodyguard!" I'm going to put a package together on him next week.
Today says, a little audio in that package, please.
Then Tenay announces that it's Rick Steiner and TP versus LaParca and Buff Bagwell tonight.
Yeah, Nash says, get out. No way. What are they doing together as a team? And Tenay says, well, we saw LaParca make the save earlier. And Nash says, oh, I remember now. Well, half the guys didn't show up today, so we had to book this earlier today. That's what happened. Hey, what are you smiling about, Mike?
Dude, the way he delivered that shit was so funny. He's like, well, LaParca did come down earlier, and he's like, oh, no, I remember. Half the guys didn't show up today, though. That's what really happened. And then it just stops. Everyone stops talking, and then Nash just goes, hey, what are you smiling about, Mike? It's a joke.
And then Tenay says, oh, well, welcome to this all-shoot edition of Thunder.
Wow, man. They are getting unhinged.
Yeah, it right here is where, everything is all right, legit fuck all this show. Who cares now?
So Prince Iaukea leapfrogs the ref. He drop kicks Berlin to start things off.
Berlin's taunt spamming, and they're like, why is he doing that? And Nash says it's a German version of Tai Bo.
He also has the hair horseshoe style on his head. Reverse.
Sunburns.
It's like if you took the George Costanza and then reversed it. He's got the middle part.
What the fuck? That's a crazy way to look at it.
That is nuts. Nash puts him over pretty well here. He says, Berlin, a stealth 163.
Prince Iaukea with the Steve Austin Thez press.
Yeah, what?
Berlin then rolls through a whip and hits a backbreaker, and then taunt spams on the mat, and then goes to the buckle, and then taunt spams on the buckle.
After starting the match taunt spamming, which pissed off everybody.
Kevin Nash then says that him, Scott Hall, and one of his colleagues are in negotiations for a 1-hour variety wrestling show with music and guests and women in the industry to show their stuff. And it is called The Big Shizo.
Coming soon to TBS 7:05 to 8:05.
Today says you got a start date for that?
And Nash says, I'm pitching it right now. I'm looking for some kind of niche here. I don't want to be bumping around. I'm getting old.
I don't know what's going on in this match at this point. I'm just writing down what they're saying here.
Dude, I stopped watching the match for sure.
So
I started to research. Does this big shizzo actually happen? What's the deal with this?
Well, I think there was legit rumors of Saturday night, either Saturday night's going away or they were trying to repackage Saturday night. So I legit think this was something that was actually being pitched, that he was not joking. It was a joke, but he meant that he wanted to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to host and get paid tons of money to do it.
Hell yeah.
So Berlin eye pokes him, and Nash says, Shortkutski, or Action Shortkutskin, because he's German.
Action Shortkutskin. And then Prince Iaukea hits a clothesline in Berlin and scoop slams him. And then Zbyszko says, and there's one for Otten von Skidmark.
And Nash says, that's what it's all about.
Attaboy!
Yeah!
Get in the festivities, Larry. Then Prince Iaukea hits a back body drop, and Nash says, hi, back body drop.
Iaukea then hits a Samoan drop, and Nash says, the old glory Samoan drop. The bodyguard then punches Prince Iaukea when the ref is not looking, and Berlin hits a neck breaker to win.
Fucking
brother, you need to get a new finish now.
Dude, no, we're gonna fucking fire him is what we're gonna do.
So now we get a Meng pre-tape putting over the Tongan death grip with some crazy distorted audio and that scream you hear in every movie ever.
The what's it, Wilhelm?
No, it's not. I don't think it's that one. It's just fucking some just fucking scream. Sure. I was like, wow, I've heard this a million times. Yeah, this is
it
nuts.
was a fucked up looking video. I mean, they did a lot of videos like this at this time, though.
Yeah. And Nash, of course, talks about it here in a minute.
He does talk about it.
So we get Luther Biggs versus Meng.
Luther Biggs with Coach Buzz Stern. Listen, we know a lot of bullshit. I have no fucking idea who these guys are.
Oh, Buzz Stern was Glacier.
What?
No fucking way.
Is that right?
This is what Glacier did after he sold the eye and all the gimmicks and all the shit.
He became a fitness coach?
The guy that I was looking at on the show was Glacier?
That was Glacier because he
wasn't the one wrestling.
No, he went to the power plant to like scout people, and then he got Luther Biggs from the power plant.
Dude, what?
Nash spends his whole match saying that Luther Biggs is fat.
Dude, he is fat, but he was also Disgraceland in TNA. Do you remember Disgraceland? They did a one-off.
I do remember Disgraceland because that was a Sports Entertainment Extreme thing.
Yes, that was Luther Biggs, by the way.
Oh my god!
So that's the only thing I ever know this guy from was that one TNA thing.
I'm fucking fucked up that was Glacier, man. That's crazy.
Dude, it is like look at a picture of Buzz Stern. It looks nothing like Glacier. There's no way.
Wow, and I hate this gimmick.
That was his new gimmick. Yeah, he's gonna be a coach after he was not Glacier.
Yeah, Nash says the Luther looks a little husky. And Tanay says, I don't think he's been doing too many sit-ups, if that's what you mean. What?
So Meng comes out, and Kevin Nash says, you've never seen Barry White and Meng in the same place, have you?
Yeah, Tanay says, I guess you're right. And Zbyszko says, you've never seen Meng and Luther Riggs here either. And Tanay says, it's Luther Biggs, no relation to Scotty Riggs. And Nash says, well, Riggs is trim. This guy's husky.
Nash says that
son of a bitch.
Nash says back in the territory days, Meng was going through 30 to 40 people a night at bars. He's the real deal.
That's awesome.
Meng then gets the Tongan death grip in and then pins him with the Tongan death grip.
He just beats the shit out of him the whole match. They call him Luther Biggs fat the whole time, and he had Tongan death grip. And then Coach Stern gets in the ring, hits Meng with a clipboard, and while Meng is setting up the Tongan death grip Coach Buzz Stern, Nash says, if Coach Stern is going to give Luther any advice, it should be to push away from the table 45 minutes earlier than usual, husky.
Husky is nuts. Wow.
So Meng Tongan death grips Coach Buzz Stern, and then Meng leaves, and Nash says, these guys should have known that nobody gets beat after a sweet package like that.
Put that one together, too.
That is fucking crazy, man. You should have known he got a video package. You're losing.
So we go to Perry Saturn versus Rey Mysterio Jr.
Finally something I can watch.
Some good fucking food, man.
Fuck.
All right, so Nash says Halloween Havoc is his favorite pay-per-view because it's in Vegas and he gets to see his friends at Crazy Horse 2.
Nash is what?
Dude, I love how they fish for it. He's like, yeah, this is my favorite pay-per-view. And then Mike Tenay's like, please let us know, why is this your favorite pay-per-view? And then he goes on about the Vegas
thing. He knew he was going to say some bullshit. He was
he's like, what bullshit are you going to say now? That was awesome.
Nash also says Sting and Lex have been, problems for Mr. Hogan. And Zbyszko says, it's the total package. And Nash says, don't!
Don't! He does say that! Holy shit, that's funny. Wow, man. He is still, it's like an hour and a half in and he's still firing off. Like, that's a skill, man.
He's on, man. I mean, again, this is not something I would want on a show that I want to enjoy.
No,
but
absolutely fucking not. No way.
I love that this exists for me to enjoy in this manner.
Yeah, there's not a better company for this to exist in than WCW.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So Nash says Flair is still the most entertaining guy in the world, and he's going to sit down get some cocktails, listen to some groovy albums, and we're going to talk. And of course, that will be on the Big Shizzo.
He's pitching this still.
705 to 805, of course, Tony.
So Perry Saturn and Rey Mysterio have an insane exchange in the ring during Kevin Nash is going on and on about the Big Shizzo.
Dude, they're like doing a lot of crazy shit. This is like a 6-7 minute match. They have stopped watching from the start.
And this shit's awesome. So
it is.
Saturn catches Rey off a springboard moonsault and tries to hit a German suplex, only for Rey to land on his feet and then to hit the springboard moonsault from the other side of the ring.
I think the first one was off the second, and then the other one was the other side of the ring off the top. I was like,
yeah.
Wow.
I knew they were going to work after that. I said, all right.
Fuck yeah.
So Rey hits the face full of stuff. And
that's the Rough Rider.
Yeah, and that says the Old Glory Rough Rider. Rey hits an Arabian moonsault and then a sensational flip dive to the outside.
God, I'm glad. That's, first of all, you're correct. Second of all, Arabian moonsault is the right call. I didn't know what to write because split-legged is out of the corner.
Yeah, Arabian's up the middle.
I didn't know. Thank you. All right. No, good. A point for you.
I just watched too much wrestling. So Saturn catches Rey in a head and arm Saturn plex, and he gets him back, and he hits another one. And Tenay says, Saturn hits a T-bone, and then he does it again. And that says, that last one was the porterhouse.
He switches hands. That's a porterhouse, which gives you the New York split, the New York and the filet. And Zbyszko says it's not a filet anymore; it's a total steak. Sorry, there was one on the flip dive one that they were talking about, which was fucking so stupid. So Rey does the flip dive, and Zbyszko says, if you want to keep an eye on Rey Mysterio, you got to look 50 feet in the air. And Tenay says, eyes in the back of your head, that wouldn't be bad either. And Zbyszko says, well, if Duggan needed those, they'd be Old Glory eyes in the back of the head. And Nash says, or the Old Glory skid mark.
Speaking of that, Nash says, you know, if Jim Duggan was you, Larry, he'd be the Old Glory living legend.
This could go on and on and on.
Today laughs and says, all right, well, I think we beat that one to death. And Nash says, no such thing. So Saturn hits an arm capture belly to belly.
They're working, man.
They are. Saturn then catches Rey into a dragon suplex right on his fucking head. They go all the way over.
Fucking awesome. It was like a springback elbow that he caught him on, dumps him on his fucking head. It was gnarly.
Rey tries to go underneath Perry, but Saturn literally stops him. He like pushes him down and grabs him.
That was awesome.
And then I thought that was so sick. And then Rey victory rolls him for a 2. Rey goes for the Frankensteiner, but Saturn just fucking throws him head first. He goes for, I guess he's going for the elbow drop because we see it later. Rey cuts him off. Then Rey goes up for on his shoulders for the Frankensteiner from like the corner.
Like the Ultimo Dragon Rana.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was like, I know we had seen someone do it recently.
Yeah, we just watched too much wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. And then Saturn just fucking holds on and super bombs him off the top rope for it too. That shit was so cool.
It was awesome. It was for a 2.9. I'm flipping out. They don't give a shit on commentary at all.
Yeah, imagine having 2 guys that will go out there and have a match like this. Like, this is a nothing show that just
you can do this whenever
nothing.
You wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, like these guys are having a match like this. Like that's a big bump. Like all these are big bumps.
Yes.
And like Nash wouldn't even fart on the way to the ring tonight. You know what I mean? So like it's just so.
I'm not there either.
Hey brother, you can tell Eazy-E. You can tell Vinny R.
Tell the
I'm
Tank
not
Meng.
coming nowhere near that show unless Kevin Nash is there on commentary. So Kevin Nash is making fun of this the whole time. Rey Mysterio, Saturn, they're going nuts. It's fucking crazy to me how this works because Rey Mysterio goes on to become one of the greatest wrestling legends of all time.
I mean, he's one of the very few success stories of jumping from one to the other.
It's actually insane because all he does is reverse the Kevin Nash booking.
Oh, wow. You're right.
That's all he did.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah. Wow.
And just won some matches.
Put that mask back on and win.
Yeah. And, oh my God. Eddie was also. They could have done that exact feud in WCW.
You're right.
It could have been, whatever. But
they could have did a lot of things here. Maybe book the first 9 matches on this show that made me watch them.
I'm glad though that they gave us Kevin Nash riffing on a show for 2 hours.
Listen, you gotta take the good with the bad. I agree.
Take the bad with the bad. Just gotta take all of it. You know what I mean? Ray head scissors around and then rolls up Saturn to win the match.
That was a very fun fucking match. Even more funny than what Nash was saying on commentary is what Saturn does after this. Now, I was expecting him to jump Ray. Not only does he jump Ray, somehow he gloms both Ray and the ref at the same time beside each other and lays them both out.
Dude, more like a Nile, just destroys
kills
both
them, yeah.
Dude, it was insane.
Yeah, steamrolls the shit out of him.
Kills them both, pulls a chain out of his tights, hits Ray in the head, the chain Douglas he's got there.
They say that on commentary.
Then Saturn throws the ref over the top rope. He slams Ray down and he goes up top for the elbow drop and he jumps off and Nash yells, "Old Glory elbow drop!"
Dude, he screams the shit out of that.
He nails it. It was a good elbow drop, and then Saturn puts Ray in the rings of Saturn.
He gives this fucking insane look. He puts
when he throws up the taunt?
Yeah, he throws the taunt up, and then he's looking to God. He's like, I'm gonna fucking lock this bitch in.
I love that taunt too. That's Perry Saturn. Orton did that taunt for a minute. A lot of guys have done that taunt. To grab the wrist. Fucking John. So yeah, he puts him in the ring of Saturn. Refs come out to break it up. Slick Johnson is one of the referees, and Nash says, "Is that Goldberg?"
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then just before we're going to commercial, Tenay says, "Up next, Total Package and Rick Steiner versus Buff Bagwell and La Parka." And just before it goes black, Nash yells, "Skeleton Man!"
Oh my god, man.
Might be the greatest man
Holy
of all
shit.
time.
He's unhinged, man. This is a powerful, powerful man at this time. And he didn't give a shit.
He pissed off the entire locker room, and that's awesome.
But who he didn't piss off was his boys, Tony. I bet they all love this shit.
No, they were fucking dying. Yeah, they weren't at the show, though. They were hearing about it later.
I was at the
watching
show.
It. I was right there.
I am the shizzo, you know what I
mean? When is that coming out? So we have the Total Package and Rick Steiner versus Buff Bagwell and La Parka. Whatever you thought was happening here.
That is fucking.
By the end of this, it is not what you thought because no one.
The opening of this is even the entrances. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Dude, no one could have ever. I'll give you a second as a fan watching. I don't know. I guess some people watch the show and
if
then
you
listen.
haven't seen this,
if you haven't seen it, try to imagine what happens by the end of this match, and then see if you were right at the end.
Write down your prediction now and.
Yeah,
there's no chance.
And then you'll never guess
there's
what happened.
No chance you guess what happens here.
I still don't understand what happened.
So Buff and La Parka come out here after TP and Steiner, and TP gets out of the ring, and Nash says, "See, he's scared of the Skeleton Man."
And when TP and Rick Steiner are coming out, Zbyszko says, "Well, La Parka doesn't speak English. Buff doesn't speak Spanish." And Nash says, "Well, Bagwell speaks that Marietta, Georgia English, which is like English, I guess." And then Tenay says, "You have a relationship with Rick, don't you, Nash? You're the godfather of his first son, aren't you?" And Nash says, "Professor, is there anything you don't know?" Zbyszko says Nash is the godfather of Scott Hudson. They're just saying shit, man. Yeah, La Parka because La Parka comes out in another outfit on top of his
skeleton outfit.
It's a skeleton. Yeah. I thought this was I thought they had La Parka booked, but it was I don't know.
You thought it was me, Meng?
It's me, Meng.
I thought it was Scott's. I don't know who the fuck was under there. Somebody was gonna fake I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Well, La Parka takes the entrance mask off to reveal his usual mask, and Nash says, "I'm a skeleton man." Ooh, he took off the skeleton, and he's still a skeleton.
He's still a skeleton.
It's like when Ray took off the mask and had another mask, the same thing.
Sting doing that.
Oh, man.
Dude, Nash booked this.
Nash booked this, he's looking at it, and now he's calling it.
This is his work of art here.
Yeah, this is his piece de la resistance.
Creme de la creme, I say.
It's a skeleton. All right, so and somehow La Parka's gimmick gets even crazier after Nash stops booking. One for me and one for my homies.
God, that's legendary.
All right, so they brawl to start things off here. The match
starts outside the ring with the bell ringing with them fighting outside, by the way.
Yeah, we've given up on any sort of normalcy in this company. Yeah. It's just whatever. Steiner, LaParca gets his ass kicked. I don't know how they pitched this to him, but they beat LaParca's ass for this entire match, man.
Dude, it's like a 10-minute match, and LaParca's on heat for 8 of it.
So Buff is choking TP on the outside, and Nash says, "That's the old glory choke."
Fucking God. Zbyszko says, "Is Rick Steiner still Steiner?" And Nash says, "He's the total Steiner." Yeah, right after what you fucking said, James, where he said the old glory choke, they're just talking about shit, and Nash just chimes in the middle of like Tenay and Zbyszko saying something and says, "I'm rooting for the heels."
and then Rick Steiner hits the Steiner line. He says, "That's the old glory Steiner line."
Dude, at one point they're brawling on outside, and I think Zbyszko says right in the bone, and then Nash just pops for it.
Oh yeah, he kicked him right in the bone. And Nash starts laughing. Yeah. So Nash then says, I can only think of one tag team better than the Steiners. And Tenay says, "Oh, I'm guessing you mean yourself and Scott Hall." Nash says, "No. I was actually talking about those 2 girls I was with last Thursday. Let's get back to the action."
So LaParca goes for the hot tag, but he gets pushed out of the ring exactly how it happened before.
It's the same exact spot except the other side of the ring.
Okay, so he does his hot tag spot and beats up everybody in the ring.
The crowd's hot. They want to see the blockbuster.
They want to see Bagwell and LaParca. They want to see the Skeleton Man.
Hell yeah.
So he goes up, and LaParca gets in the center of the ring with a steel chair. Everyone's in a different corner right now looking at LaParca, who is confused because no one's attacking him or going at him or anything.
And no one is set up for the blockbuster.
And then Buff hits the blockbuster on LaParca and leaves the ring. And then the ref goes down for a pin. And then they don't pin him, and all they do is stomp him out. And he's leaving, and he goes up the ramp, and the thing plays on the bottom that says copyright. And Kevin Nash says, "What the heck is this?"
And then they fade out.
The show's done. Dude, what?
Holy fuck, man. Oh my God. This might be the funniest. You know, sometimes you look, you are never ever going to get a chance to be the booker of the show and to do this on someone else's dime.
Dude, on an international broadcasted show.
That like people that a bunch of fucking just random dudes are reviewing 20-something years later. You'll never get this. This is a once in a lifetime. And Kevin Nash took that shit, he ran with it, and he made the most legendary, this might be the most legendary Thunder episode for all I know.
We've watched shows that we watched wrestling that tried to be funny. We watched comedy matches, shows that are built around having fun and being funny. None of them have ever been as funny as this show. Not one of them. No. Especially the ending of this fucking show. Buff Bagwell randomly hitting LaParca with a blockbuster because he was just in the way, and then he leaves, and the guy who booked the show yelling, "What the heck is this?"
It's faded to black. What the heck is this?
That is so fucking funny.
What's crazy is they have a follow-up match on Nitro.
Buff Bagwell and LaParca?
Buff and LaParca, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think Russo and them take over at that point, so they're probably like, all right. That's what I wanted to talk about at the end of the show, which makes this even funnier, which makes this a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. This is the best rib in wrestling ever. Like, you're looking at the best rib ever. Kevin Nash booked LaParca into an angle with the 3 top guys on Thunder, and then they had to keep using him to tell the story. And the only reason he used him is because he was there and he was a skeleton.
And Lex Luger was afraid of him.
Holy shit. So not only did he get to use LaParca, he got him in an angle they had to keep using LaParca. So Vince Russo and Ferrara thought, oh, LaParca must be a big part of the show. We got to come up with a new gimmick for him. So they keep using LaParca
for years.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
This is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Masterpiece.
It's layered comedy, and you have to know the wrestling business to get the full picture.
Yeah.
And all of us can see, because we just know wrestling, and like everyone listening to this knows wrestling so well, that we can see the Mona Lisa of what Kevin Nash put together here. And I cannot say enough how fucking glad I am that this exists.
Big Kev. I mean, like, that was for the boys. That's what this episode was.
It was for the boys. You're right, man. Yeah, wow.
100%, man.
Holy shit. Somehow, all right, so this is the worst show. If you turn the commentary off, it's the worst show I've ever seen in my entire life.
Dude, it would have killed the pod, this show.
But with the commentary, this is the most legendary episode of Thunder we've ever watched.
Dude, that Thunder got a 1.8 rating.
That was the old Glory Thunder.
Yeah!
Come on!
Little. But that is it for WCW Thunder, October 14, 1999. That's probably it for Kevin Nash's run as Booker. And that is it for our show.